I got a question for you guys. So here let's go through this.
Yep.
Go to 2020, Joe Biden against Trump, okay? Let's take 2020 Joe Biden against Trump, that person, and he debates today's trained Kamala in a primary. There's nobody else on stage. So take every Cory Booker off stage, take everybody off stage. It's this Kamala versus, so there is no Elizabeth Warren, there is no Bernie Sanders. It's this Kamala Harris, trained the way she was today, versus the Joe Biden of 2020 in the primary. Who wins?
Oh, I think that'll be a lot closer. I think that she would actually beat
I think Kamala
Biden
would probably win.
in that 2020
Okay,
election.
so that's the point.
yeah.
That's the point.
Well, she's been
No,
yes.
but wait a minute. This is a very important point you just made. So if that Biden who beat Trump goes against this Kamala, you're saying this Kamala beats that Biden.
Based on policy and performance, she'd stand a chance.
Let me ask you guys a question. What do you say? Let me ask you. I'm going to ask the question. I want you to make noise. It's pretty tough to make noise for this, but how about we do hands instead of making noise, right? How many guys say the 2020 Biden beats the 2024 Kamala of today's performance? Raise your hand. Okay, how many guys, by the way, look at that. It's not a lot of you. How many of you say tonight's Kamala performance? Guys, this is kind of like the 2006 Michael Jordan against, you understand, when you're putting players against players. Does Kamala Harris, today's Kamala Harris, does she beat 2020 Biden? Put your hands up. Yeah. That's formidable. That's the part you have to pay attention to, okay, with what just happened there. Now, we don't even ask the question, does today's Kamala beat the Trump-Biden debate that just took place, whatever, 2 months ago? The answer's going to be what? It's not even a question,
all she had
right?
to do is be alive.
So let me share with you a couple thoughts that I have. Here's what happened here. So to me, if I can read this tweet, Tom, Rob, I don't know if you can get on this screen. Okay, there you go. So tonight's commentary versus Biden-Trump debate, Tapper Dana Bash interrupted Trump 0 times. I remember I counted exactly how many times, not one time. Tonight, we counted it 11 times. It was a 3-1 debate. Kamala did her best to agitate and try to get under Trump's skin, which, by the way, she did. She did multiple times. She brought up Project 2025, even though they know, and moderator never corrected. She claimed he was terminated Constitution. Moderator never corrected. Misusing bloodbath. Charlottesville, J6. He wants to be a dictator on day one. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment, the worst pandemic. These are very good lines to get under his skin. Very effective. Trump followed through to do the same thing. She said they left the tariffs that Trump left on China for 3.5 years, meaning you followed my lead. She hates Israel. He said that, even though Dems have 71% of Jews are voting for Democrats. Just so you know, it's a very small percentage of Jews voting Republican. She doesn't have a plan. It's like 4 sentences, okay? I was going to send her a MAGA hat. Her father's a Marxist. He taught her well. These are very good lines. Her vice president pick, abortion in the 9th month. Her boss, Tom, can't read it. He spends most of his time at the beach. These are great lines. They didn't fire anyone. That's the most important point for me as an executive. How the hell do you not fire anybody? All this stuff that's happened last 4 years, you've never fired anybody? That's like the first thing the person should say. That's a good point. You have the toughest job. You don't want to fire anyone. Then it continues. I'm sorry. I'm talking now. So he did to her what she does. She is Joe Biden. You know, this is crooked, right? And then it goes to her highlight of the evening, abortion topics. I thought she crushed it. The economy. When you listen to her with the economy, honestly, you know what it sounded like? How many guys don't like math? Raise your hand if you can't stand math. Raise your hand if you're not a math person. How many people know what happens when a math person is in a math conversation and math comes up and the economy comes up? I mean, you kind of like, please don't ask me a question, bro. I swear to God, I'm begging you, I still don't know what a 4. Don't ask me what a 403B is, 457. Don't ask me unrealized gains. Please, let's skip this topic. She knew nothing about the economy. Okay, she never, maybe I thought for that moment when she claimed she smoked weed, she did in the economy class. That's when I realized maybe she did. I think she was telling the truth then. His highlights, economy, Rob, if you can go a little higher. His track record with no war when he was president. He challenged her to leave the debate stage and go to D.C. to sign a bill to say the border is closed. His downfall, eating dogs. That part, I think his team could have done a better job. I thought I was, and also getting a little bit agitated at the end and trying to oversell thinking his behind showed a little bit of, little bit of weakness at the end. So biggest marketing mistake of the night to me was Kamala when she said, I invite you to go to one of Trump's rallies. please leave the rally. If people leave the rally early, Trump's marketing team is going to use as even Kamala Harris wants you to come to the rallies, right? Even though he doesn't need that. Trump's marketing team can run with that. Last observation about the debate. Kamala kept looking at him. He looked straight. He was focused. When they asked about the moderators, when they asked if Kamala has met Putin, they never once followed up on the question.
Yeah.
They never once followed. Why do you not follow up on the question? They followed up on Trump 3 times on a question. Why? The people want to know. By the way, what do you think the answer is if she's ever met Putin?
Doubtful.
If the answer was yes, what does she say within the first second?
Of course.
She said, I've met, who did she say she met
Zelensky
5 times?
5 times.
I've met Zelensky 5 times. Meeting Zelensky 5 times doesn't equate meeting Putin 1 time. Say yes or no, we still don't know the answer to the question. That was a bad thing for moderators. Even though they interrupted Trump consistently, they did better than expected. I thought David Muir, believe it or not, I actually like this guy on the way he did it. I thought he was good. I know a couple of times when Trump wanted to get the minute and they were trying to digress to a different topic or change to a different topic, David gave him the minute. I like that. He didn't seem like an asshole. That's my read. I liked him. Lindsay Davis asked one of the toughest questions of the night of Kamala. Even though you can tell she does not like Trump, I give her a 7. For whatever reason, it seemed like she was gone for 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know if that was an ABC thing or not, but that was definitely weird. So again, Kamala sounded like a condescending aunt lecturing kids. He sounded like an angry patriot defending his nation. Either way, I think this was a much better debate performance-wise than the Biden-Trump for entertainment purposes, for fight, for all this other stuff. I thought it was good. But to go back to it. So somebody may say, well, Pat, the question you're asking about, will the 2020 Biden beat today's Kamala? The answer resounding is what?
Probably yes.
No. Hang on, Adam. Will the 2020 Biden beat today's Kamala?
No.
All of you said no.
No. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So then the next question is 2024, because it's games, it's opponents, styles, all that stuff, right? Then it's markets and conditions. Is today's market conditions the same as it was in 2020? Meaning, at that time, everybody was saying, man, I know what Trump's going to do, but I have no clue what Biden's going to do. Maybe he's going to be nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe America's going to be more peaceful. Maybe we're going to have less protesting with riots, right?
Yeah.
The difference here, that is nothing close to 2020, and the argument of whether Biden or Kamala beats who is irrelevant. We have 4 years almost of Biden and Kamala. That is the biggest difference. And you put 4 to 4, it is not even close.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 to 4 of results with a resume, you have 2 people applying for a job, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What are some signs, Tom? If you're interviewing, we interview hundreds of people per year, right?
Yep.
Executive, people that we're hiring for $200,000 salaries, $300,000 salaries, 100K, 50K, 80K. You got 2 finalists as candidates. Resume. What things do you look for and you're like, nah, this is not for us? What do we look for?
I just look at effectiveness and results. You have some people's resumes said, I was part of this team, I was part of that team. You have other people turn in resumes, I raised the growth of the company by 6%. I raised profit by 15%. I found 22 new customers. Go like that. If you put them side by side on the economy, Biden doesn't want the numbers, and they have to shade because those are bounce back jobs. Those were bounce back jobs. So if you look Trump on the economy and inflation, job creation, the foreign policy where the wars were and what they spent, and you went down by that, you would say,
Can I ask you a different question, though, Tom?
This is the strongest guy.
Let me ask you a different question. By the way, just so everybody knows, outside of ABC's YouTube channel being live tonight, we're officially the biggest live in the world tonight on YouTube, just so you guys know that. All right, just so you guys know that. There's hovering between 145,000 live watching tonight concurrent is what we got right now.
Thank you.
Okay? But by the way, let me go to this. Watch this. Question to the listeners and the viewers and all of you guys sitting here. You ready? Very simple question. You have 2 employees. Say we are Goldman Sachs. We're about to hire 2 financial advisors, 2 bankers. Both bankers have been at Morgan Stanley for 4 years. And both bankers, we have very good relationships with the HR and their bosses. We look at the resume of one, Biden, Kamala. We look at the resume of the other one, Trump. All the numbers of performance is here. That is the difference between voting for a president today versus 2020. you actually have all of their performance of what they've done in 4 years, in their 4 years of being in office. This one has raised, let's just say, whatever, $1.8 billion. This one's raised 2.1, whatever. This one has had so many write-ups. This one's done this. This person's done this. You can look at every single thing and say, yeah, based on the resumes and what's happened, this one may be a little bit more, cocky about himself, and this one may be a little bit more like elitist, like when she's coming in because I went to the right schools or whatever. You're going to sit there and say, yeah, based on this, we're hiring this guy. Now, that is assuming independents are going to do their part. That is assuming this goes the way it does. If Trump kind of plays the poised game, I think he has an edge. If Trump keeps getting upset and agitated the way they were doing him at the end, I think they're going to play up that all over TV, all over news, and they're going to say, oh, he lost control, he lost his emotions. To everyone in Florida, that you're down here, South Florida, I want to give you a quick announcement. This Saturday at 12 o'clock, I will be at the Fort Lauderdale Barnes & Noble signing books of Academy that just came out, first fiction book. I'll be signing Your Next 5 Moves, and I'll be signing Choose Your Enemies Wisely. Come join us. I'm going to be there. Vinny's going to be there. Tom's going to be there. Adam's going to be there. I'll be signing for 2 hours. First come, first serve. You buy a book, you'll get it signed by me. Fort Lauderdale, Barnes & Noble, this Saturday at noon. Put it in your calendar. We'll see you there.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.